Hi friends, it's me, Christiana Gaudet. I am live on my Facebook business page. I just got finished with a live class on YouTube. I hope some of you were there. We talked about the star and temperance. It was a fun class. So this is the Saturday Psychic Sampler, where we do specific questions and specific answers only. For this exercise, we don't want even questions about what does the universe want me to know. We don't even want those questions. We want specific questions. So I am happy to see you all here. Thanks so much for being here. And I do want to remind you that we will have a tarot meetup on YouTube Live next Sunday, 3 p.m. on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet on YouTube. I also want to remind you of my class coming up, Sharing Wisdom, Reading for Others. That's going to be Wednesday the 26th at 7 p.m. You can get tickets for that now. Okay. Very good. And I see the questions already coming in. Let me say hi to a few people. Leisha, glad you're here. Shauna, you got the first question. I'll be with you in 1 second. Glad you're here. Elizabeth, happy to see you. Kyra, happy to see you. Kaya, happy to see you. Karen, twice seeing you today. Glad you enjoyed the class. Christina, happy to see you. Barbara, Claire, I see your questions. Okay, let's get right going with the questions. And Leisha, you were in the class today too, weren't you? Happy to see you twice today. Okay. Hey, Emmy Noble, nice to see you. Thanks for the nice message you left on my last live. I really appreciate that. I'll make sure to get to your question. Okay. So, Shauna, I would like to know if trying to form a relationship with my absent mother is a healthy decision for me and my children. What a great and poignant question. Let's take a look and see. And it's hard, trying to forge a relationship with an absent person is really hard. It seems like the first thing you would have to do is sort of try to get that person to not be so absent. And I think you have to be very, very careful about your expectations here and very careful about what expectations you set for the children. I think forming a relationship is a very strong word or a strong phrase. Maybe initiating communication, creating the opportunity for communication would be the better expectation. And I just feel like where she's concerned, as far as your expectations there, she's likely to be difficult to deal with. And so it might be healthy to have communication, but be careful. Okay. Next question. Barbara Dwyer, nice to see you here. Do I have a future with my current boyfriend? Let's take a look and see what we see. Although in questions like this, of course, we have to say in many cases and in many ways, that can be very much up to you and the boyfriend, of course, the two of you. But there is a nice connection between the two of you. I would look at these cards and I would say a future here is very possible and even likely. And what you would have to do to make that happen is to be very clear about expectations, to be patient, and to recognize that although I think the two of you really care about each other, and I think you both really want that future, you may have different ideas about the timeline and what that future might look like. So those are the conversations you need to have. Oh, and thank you so much for your nice feedback. I really do appreciate the feedback. I don't tend to read it aloud in the interest of time, but I do see it and appreciate it. So thank you for that. Claire Wetzler. Am I going to be able to travel to the UK within the next 6 months? That is such an interesting question. I received an offer to go to the UK in like a year, and I'm not sure if that's going to be able to happen or not. So let's see, within the next 6 months, and I know for you, that's your home of origin. So I know how important that is. And And, we can hope for the best, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. And then there's able to and is it wise to? There's those questions too. And I know you have family members there. You may have family business there. There may be a real reason for you to. But I think you're going to have to be very, very careful about this. I would say in 6 months or later, yes, maybe. But prior to that, probably not. Kaya, I would love to know if you see me being able to move to California by myself or will I have a roommate? Okay, so. Man, what shows up is like, okay, so the move to California is a scary but good thing. It is a good thing and a right thing. Can you do it without a roommate? I think you'd prefer to. I think it's possible to. Either way is going to create compromises. Neither way is perfect, but I think if you had a choice, you would rather find a way to do it on your own. And I think you can possibly do that, again, as long as you're willing to make some compromises. Okay, Janice, nice to see you here. Emmy Noble, should I stop working part-time at my library job and take a new path? Do you know what the new path is? Questions like that are always so interesting because if the cards say, yes, you should stop working at your library job, does that mean that you have a path in mind? Like, are we signing off on that whole path? Or are we just signing off on getting rid of the library job? There's some interesting questions there. So first of all, to stop working part-time, okay, so you say no. So really the question is, do I get rid of the library job? That's really the question. Okay, so, I always thought it would be like the best thing in the world to work in a library. I've always, that's like always been my dream in a way. But for you, and I don't know if this is COVID related or if this is just related to this particular library or how this fits into your life, but my feeling, honestly, is you should let go of this job. And I'm even sad about it, but I think it would serve you to let go of the job. Whatever the next path is, I think it's better served to close this chapter. Okay, Erica, nice to see you. Want to know how the relationship with my friend is going to go moving forward? I feel like this relationship has been weird over time. And it's like, is it even defined particularly? Like, what is it? Is it a friendship? Is it a romance? Is it a friendship with benefits? What is this? And I think that you have a vision in terms of what you think it could be or what you want it to be. But I'm not sure that we've really had this conversation. I'm not sure the two of you have had this conversation about this and what it is and what it's going to be. And I think you're sort of waiting for that and waiting for some revelation here. And I almost feel like it is time to ask for a conversation and to get a really clear determination at this point. Because I feel like it's exciting and it's interesting and it's fun and it's good and there's a nice connection there. But I also think it is confusing and anxiety producing. So time for some communication. That's what I think. Elizabeth, what is going to be the message or outcome for today's meeting between my husband and his boss? Is this like the really difficult boss? Isn't he really difficult? However, I think something good is going to come out of it. Some new path forward, some new gift. There is going to be something good coming out of this conversation, or somehow, whether you know it or not immediately, this conversation is going to lead to a new opportunity one way or the other. Okay. Denise, will Chuck and I be able to salvage any kind of a friendship out of our failed relationship? First of all, I am so sorry for what you must be enduring there. That already sounds painful. And I'm so sorry. And the thing is, wasn't there a moment there? Yeah, Elizabeth, I have a similar feeling, seriously. Denise, was there not a moment there where it looked like you and Chuck had like a beautiful thing? And I have to say that, yes, it didn't work. It was just a beautiful thing for a moment. And I know it feels so weird and so wrong that it ended up the way it did. But what I have to say to you is that you got the best out of the relationship that you could. That beautiful moment was the best and the most it was ever going to be. And I know you didn't ask that question, but I had to say that to you because that's going to help you in moving on, to understand that. To understand, like even to call it a failed relationship. I mean, it is true that the relationship as you wanted it to be did not work out. But I think you got the best out of it you could have. Now, to answer your question, can you be friends going forward? In the long run, maybe yes. Maybe yes. In the short term, that might be hard, but in the long run, yes. Okay, Karen, today's question is for Kim, and it was so nice to be able to speak with Kim yesterday. She is wondering if bringing her kitty to visit grandma is too traumatizing for her. So, are you grandma? I think you are in this conversation. And so bringing the kitty to visit you, would that be traumatizing for the kitty? Is that what we're asking? Would it be traumatizing for the kitty? And the answer is, I think it could be done successfully, but it would have to be done very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. I think it's definitely outside of the comfort zone. Is it worth doing? It probably is worth doing for everybody. It probably is worth doing for everybody. But we do recognize that this kitty is already a little skittish and needs a lot of calming down. So like if we're putting the kitty in the car, we want to make sure we're in a cat carrier. I wouldn't try to carry the kitty, but what I would love is another human in the car so the cat carrier can sit on a lap and the human can talk to the cat in the cat carrier. You know, like you really have to be careful about how this first visit goes, but I think it is a good idea. Okay. Okay. Hey, Lori, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here. Okay. Rocio, will I get a response from a business contact for a proposal and contract negotiation? I am thinking that you will and that it will go well. It may take a little while, but I think it is going to happen and be favorable. Let me say hi to Christine Petta and let me say hi to Barbara O'Brien. So happy you folks are here. Good morning from Megan Harris. Nice to see you. Will I be getting a bigger place to live in soon with my kids? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So, yes, it will happen. It's going to take time. You have to be patient, Megan, but it is going to happen. It'll be a stretch to make it happen, but it's a good idea. Amanda, happy to see you. Amanda's just had surgery, so happy to see you recovering well. Glad you're here. Fatima, so nice to see you. Should I get the personal trainer? Is that why I'm so tired? Man, some of it's just the planet. I've been doing like the same exercises and suddenly they're kicking my butt and they weren't before. And I think the planet is making us tired. I really do. Fatima, there is so much you want to do to get on your right path. And you think about, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can study this, I can see this doctor, I can get this trainer, I can try this, I can try this, I can try that. And then you get so confused and upset with all of those things, and you don't want to do all the things. And so it's this whole fight for you. A personal trainer is a great idea. But really what's a great idea is that you put one foot in front of the other and do something. And then the next thing, and then the next thing. And it doesn't really matter which of those things. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, Janice. When will my future proposal come for my song I wrote? Do you know that it's coming? Is that a when or an if? That's my question. And I feel like in either case, there is more that you need to do to move this forward. I think it is possible to move it forward, but there's more you need to do. Christine Petta. Would like to know if it is okay to begin my business in September or wait for next year. There is no time like the present. And I think you need to have other income. Like you cannot start the business in September and think that it is going to support you, but I think you can start building it so that it ultimately will. Jan Brewington, so nice to see you. Am I going to meet anyone worth spending time with romantically this year? Dang. Man, I'm just flipping through these cards looking for something. And I feel like whatever you have been doing to find that right person and to prepare yourself for that right person is not enough. Maybe you need a different app. Maybe you need to go to different places. Maybe you need to do different things. Maybe the pandemic just sucks. But I think it's going to be hard. I think it's doable, but I think you have to change things up and do things a little differently. Hey, Carmen, my landlord and I had a meeting. How is the outcome of it for both of us? Not awesome. Okay, but not awesome. I think you were able to express some things that were good, but I'm not sure that either of you are 100% happy, but I think it's workable. Okay. So Claire, your airline ticket needs to be used by the end of April. So I would say the later the better. That's really the key. The later the better. Hey, Zuri, nice to see you. Christina Reed, I have difficulty living with friends. Is letting my nursing school friend move in with me going to create problems for us? I think it's workable. I think you can make it work. Just be very clear about your boundaries and your needs. Jen says, just keep trying. Yes, seriously. We should talk, Jen. Okay, Zuri. Should I boost my live stream schedules this fall and do more of them? The question is really, will they lead to a growth in followers and business? Yes, they will. Increasing their number is a good idea. And boosting probably makes sense too. Yes and yes. Okay, Varnica, nice to see you. When will my husband get a good paying job that he's passionate about also? So we want money and passion in the same job. Let's see. You know, I think it will ultimately happen. I really do. It may take another 6 months. It may take another 10 months, but I think it will happen. Kim Murphy Case, do I see you moving north soon? I think it's going to happen. Soon is a relative thing. Like I could see it maybe 7, 8 months, maybe. Timing's hard, but I do think it's happening. Pamela, what is my role and the boundaries, limitations of my role with helping my mom in regards to clearing out stuff and moving out of this house? What a great question. Oh man, the thing is, your mom has a huge amount of resistance. I'm not sure what she's resistant to. Letting go of stuff, moving, change, you, I don't know, but there's resistance. And does she need your help? She needs somebody's help, for sure. Can you be the one to help her? You can, but man, this is going to be frustrating. And so the thing is, I think we have to recognize that she needs you more than you need her. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And I think your boundaries have to be that if she's there for the process, you'll be there for the process with her. If she's not there for the process, and if she's giving you a hard time, and if she's making it harder than it needs to be, then you don't really have to be there at all, and she can find somebody else, which indeed she probably can't, or it will be hard for her to. But I think that is still the way it has to be, is you have to recognize again that she needs this, and she needs to remember that you catch more flies with sugar than you do with vinegar. And the way you teach her that is by letting her know that you're sympathetic with her resistance, but if she doesn't want your help, she really doesn't have to have it. And of course, she wants and needs it. So I think that's how you have to be. I know that sounds a little bitchy, but I think she's going to need that. Otherwise, this is going to be like pulling teeth. It's going to be terrible. Shelley, what direction should I go in career-wise? I need a change. So that's an interesting question. And the thing is, I think you're not sure what the opportunities are for you. I think the first thing is you have to look at new opportunities and figure out what they could be. I think you need something that is fast-paced. You need something that uses your intelligence, and you need something that uses your good communication skills. Hey, Savannah, so nice to see you. Will Brad and I settle in well now that we are moved to South Carolina? And congratulations on your move, for sure. And I think this is good. We're going to miss you down here, of course. But I think this is going to be a good move for you. I think you will settle in well, and I think it's going to be good. I mean, it's always weird, and it's especially weird during a pandemic, but I think it's going to be good. Okay. Uma, I'm homeschooling by my own design. Oh, sorry. Is homeschooling from my own design best for my little guy, Haven, as opposed to a virtual public school program? So your own design versus virtual public school for Haven. Okay. I actually like the virtual public school for him. And I think you can augment it and add to it. And I think you can be present for it more than a lot of parents are. So I would say the virtual public school augmented by your own input and assistance. Hey, Melanie, nice to see you again. Lori, Lori, will I almost tripped up on your last name, Lori. I know how to say it, but I almost tripped on it. Okay, but I'm talking to you. Will I stay in Florida? Oh my goodness, is that a question? How interesting. And certainly it's up to you, one way or the other. I wonder if you could do the snowbird thing in some way. I think there are things about the Northeast that you're missing. There may be some other place you want to go. I also think there are things about Florida that are really good for you. And so I wonder if there is some kind of hybrid situation that you could discover that would work for you. Melody says the Not Water class was great. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot in that class. I hope everyone else did too. Kathy, a bunch of first dates this year, and I'm getting more and more disheartened that there is someone out there for me. I'm attracting the wrong kind of men. What can I do about attracting the right one? What a great question. And, at least having all of those first dates is telling the universe that you are serious. What can you do to attract the right one? Be patient. Believe that it is possible. Be unwilling to compromise your values. And do not be, yes, Lori, please do call me soon. Thanks for being here today. Kathy, do not be, the discouragement comes not only from this parade of bad candidates, the discouragement also comes from your own past experience in relationships. Don't let that be your story. Be open to a new story. It will take time, but I promise it will happen. And so I think the adjustment needs to be within you. And I think you need to keep dating. It is a needle in a haystack, but the needle is there. TK. My question. I'm not getting tickets to India. Can I make it possible? It's a bit stressful. So, I don't know if I shared what the cards were the last time I read for you about this. Like, will you end up in Canada or India first? I got 2 sixes, one for each. 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. It's crazy. It is so hard to know what the deal is. If you do, and I know you're not entirely excited about going to India first, but if you do end up doing that, sort of make the best of it and enjoy it and be proud of what your experiences and accomplishments have been here. Can you get to India? Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. Is it possible your Canadian papers will come through sooner and first? It is still possible that that will happen. You are still in that same limbo and the days are ticking by. I am so sorry. You obviously have to do the thing that feels safest. And I'm concerned you're going to get those India tickets and then you're going to get the Canada papers. And then what are you going to do? But, it's a tough thing. It really is. In the long run, I think you do end up in Canada, and I think that's fine. And if you do have to go back to India, you absolutely can. It will not be for a long period of time. And I actually think that there are ways that it would feel good to be there for a minute. So, if the universe is sending you to India for a minute, it's possible, and it's probably more enjoyable than you think. Okay. Missy Lowe. I've been feeling very overwhelmed recently with school getting ready to start and the wedding coming up close. Will this feeling pass soon? Yeah, it will. And you'll get everything done and it will be fine and you're on top of it and it's stressful and it's hard, but you got this. I promise you got this. Hey, Joey, I'm preparing for a major loss within my family. I'm so sorry. What am I facing in the near future regarding family? Well, not only is there this loss, but there's the fallout from the loss. And I think you're going to be one to have to hold space and healing for other people in the family too. And that's not going to be easy, but it will serve you and the family very well. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Kathleen Patricia. Move unemployment. Let's see. So, man, I feel like you're still sort of hanging on to the side of the cliff with your fingernails. This has been such a difficult thing. What I see for you is a new job. I think there's a new job coming and very quickly, and you'll be making money soon and on top. I don't know exactly where and when, but I do think it's coming, so I'm hopeful. Shelley says, I'm a 911 dispatcher. Right. What did we say? Communication, intelligence, and quick moving. Right. Yeah, you literally do all of those things. That makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, I am coming to the end of my time. This is going to be my last question, and is Philippa. Would my dance classes be financially abundant from September forward? And the answer is, abundance a funny word, right? I think it'll be okay. I think it's hard during the pandemic. I really do. But I think if you stick it out over time, it will be good. So I want to thank you all for spending this time with me. I'll be back Monday with your 3-card weekly reading. And going forward, here on my Facebook business page, this is where I do readings 4 times a week. My YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet, is where I'm doing classes and meetups. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do all of that in both places. Like and share this video, please. And thank you so much for that. And you can make an appointment with me by going directly to my website, Christiana Gaudet. You can also private message me here for an appointment if you prefer. I would love to read for you privately. We can work by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, or Zoom. I even have some openings tomorrow. So reach out, let's get together, let's have some fun. Let's do some healing together. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Have a great Saturday.